Professor Ramaya, and good evening all our participants today. As Sir has already mentioned, this is the third day of this e-workshop that we've had, and we started last week. Already mentioned how many participants are keenly following these lectures and they are joining regularly, and I'm also very happy to hear that many of you are joining and finding it useful. As I had mentioned in the inaugural session itself, we are focusing on 4 different skills, and each day we are taking one skill, and both the resource persons of the day will be talking about different aspects related to that skill. So we had already seen reading and listening last week. Today we are moving on to a very important skill, and that is speaking. It is something that a lot of people talk about and they emphasize while talking about communication skills. Our resource persons for today will be talking about aspects related to speaking that are generally prominent while talking about placements, interviews, and these kind of things in the corporate world. The first session today was supposed to have been handled by Professor Anand Mahanand from EFL University. However, because of an urgent meeting called there by his Vice Chancellor, we have had to make a slight change there. He will be joining for the second session, and this session will be taken care of by Dr. Arularasi. Let me just briefly introduce her. She has been collaborating with our department in different activities. She is an assistant professor and also the head of the Department of English at Rajiv Gandhi Arts and Science College in Pondicherry, and she is also the NAC coordinator and IQAC coordinator there. She has given several invited talks related to education, soft skill development, women's empowerment, and so on. And she has also presented and published research papers in several national and international journals, as well as in conferences and seminars. She has been a member of the placement and guidance cell, and she has also trained students for group discussion in her college. She was nominated as the course writer for BA English Literature at the Tamil Nadu Open University. And she has also been a translator in NPTEL and has translated the study material for the UG course. And for 5 successive years, she has also been the NSS program officer and has received the Best NSS Program Officer Award also from the government of Pondicherry. And she has been a member of the Board of Studies and the chief editor of the college magazine. And she has organized many programs related to the development of communication skills in her college. So she will be talking to us today. She will be focusing on group discussions, which is, as I said, something very important when it comes to recruitment, placement, and even otherwise in the workplace. Group discussions and meetings play a very important role. So the title of her talk today is The Dynamics of Group Discussions and Multiple Skills. So without any further ado, let me invite Dr. Arularasi to handle the session. Over to you, Arularasi.
Thank you, sir. A very pleasant and happy evening to one and all, especially Professor Ramaya, who is the TD director, and the English department faculty members, and then Binu sir. I'm so happy to be a part of this 4-day program, and I'm so happy really, I'm also presenting one of the session. Okay, so today the very important aspect of speaking, as Binu sir told, you have already listened to listening, and now we are in the part of speaking. And today I'm going to talk about group discussion. how it is important. And when you come to the service side, how it is of very important for a person to get through an interview. So you would have all listened to, or you would have all heard about group discussion, but today we are going to see the importance, what are the do's and don'ts, or how we have to go about the group discussion. So first, the question would be like, why GD? Shortly called as GD. Why group discussion? Why it is not always one-on-one or one-to-one interview? So it is considered as interpersonal skills. First of all, they want to judge us, the interviewing, they want to judge us, and this particular GD is to separate the chaff from the grain, we have to say, because they want to just cull out the good people, in the sense those who have the talent from the people who do not have the talent which they are requiring. So that is what their motto of conducting a GD. And when you come to it, it is like a mass elimination. It helps the companies to have a mass elimination, and they are looking for some requirements. So that is what why the GD is conducted actually. So we have an idea, like the moment we utter the word group discussion, the moment we say the word discussion, we'll just tend to go towards the word debate. It is like we consider the group discussion as a debate, but it is not so. You have to be very careful, because debate is among the two groups. There we can see who is going to win over the other. One group will be winning over the other. One person will be winning over the other. But the discussion is not so. Discussion is totally different from the debate we are thinking. And discussion that should be evolutionary. It should give us some productive thoughts. It should be productive. It should be like knowing better. The ideas that we are going to put forward in the discussion group is to know better about the topic which they are going to give us. And to have a kind of a research attitude, we are going to have a kind of a research attitude. And there will be a clarification of the title which the interview will be giving. There should be some refinement. And the group discussion members, the team members, will be contributing so many ideas to the team. And it will be like adding some knowledge to the existing point. We will have some kind of knowledge about the topic which will be given to the team. But it is like adding some extra point to the existing knowledge. So on the whole, it should be evolutionary, as I was telling you, and it should be knowing better about a particular topic, a kind of a research, and then clarification, and then refinement, a contribution, and then adding some knowledge to the existing knowledge. So this is what the intro of what a GD is and how a GD must be. So you have to have a knowledge of what is a GD and how it is different from a debate, which is always a kind of a winning over the other. And this is done because they are searching for someone who is good at understanding why this GD and why this interpersonal skill is necessary for a company who is searching for the talents. Because they want to have a person or people who is good at understanding or communicating at different ideas, because you will be interacting with so many people, you will be having so many people around you in the companies. So there you will be tending to attend so many different kinds of people, different kinds of ideas, different kinds of situations. So in that particular place, you should be having an idea of how to handle the particular situation, for which you need an interpersonal skill. So finally, we can see like a group discussion is meant for identifying the interpersonal skills which you have within you. So this is like a culling out, taking out the interpersonal skills within us. So this is the main motto of conducting a GD. And moreover, when you see like a GD, it is not something new to us. Group discussion is not something new to us because it is already done in our family, with our friends, with our family members. You wonder how. Maybe at a dinner table, you can see like we would be talking about some topic or the other, or some person or the other, some topic or the other, some situation, some ideas. While the youngsters are talking about something, and the elders would be listening very carefully, even though they know much about the particular thing which the youngsters are talking about, they will be listening very quietly, and they would be a very good listener without interfering anything, like they will be listening. And later, at a point of time, they will just jump into the discussion in between, and they will offer some kind of a solution or some ideas about what the youngsters were talking about. So this already we have an idea of what a group discussion is, but we would not have listened to that. So this is what a group discussion is. So this is already done in our family. You just go and listen to your family discussion. That is the exact thing that is there with the group discussion that is going to be done in the team members, with the team members where you are going to attend an interview. So this is how you have to look at. And there are so many types of concept for GD. And before going to, for the preparation, before going into the interview, you have to have an idea of what kind of concepts or what kind of GD are there, ideas, concepts are there. So there are general types, and then there are opinion-based one, controversial one, that is called argumentative, or factual GDs, abstract or lateral thinking or creativity, case-based solution. So for which we can say, like for general type of topics, we can say, just for example, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat are killing creativity. So this is a general topic. We can talk about that because everyone is familiar with the topics WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat, because nobody is there without all these things. You have some kind of idea about these subjects. Corruption is a necessary evil, and marriages are born, not made. So this kind of topics can be coming under general topics. And when you go for controversial topics, opinion-based, you can have your own opinion. And when you come to controversial topics of women or men, better managers. So the moment we say women and men, there will be some kind of controversy, and immediately everybody will be jumping into argument. So the perception of danger in different cultures, this can be argued, and ban of hijab, good or bad. So this kind of, the moment that we utter these kind of topics, there would be some controversy, and we would be arguing about, and there will be an argumentation, okay. And when we come about the last one, case-based studies or case studies, say for example, COVID-19 and related anxiety cases among college students. So this is a very recent and trendy topic, we can say, because the COVID-19 and related anxiety cases among college students. Recently, I have a case study, like when I was sitting at my home, and a girl from my college, she just called me, and then she was asking me like, I need to talk to you. And I was asking what, and she was saying like, I feel like committing suicide because I feel depressed at home. So what can I do? Just to give me some kind of a counseling. So, and I talked about so many things which would be motivating her. And finally, she was asking for some one good book to read. So this is like, it can be taken as a case study, and you can talk about that. And there are some kind of things like dangers of advertisements on children's TV network. So these 2 years, children, especially the young children, around 4 to 5 years, and between 5 and 10, you can see they are always sitting in front of the television and looking at, watching some kind of networks, TV networks. So it is all affecting the psychology of the students and the studies of the students. You can take that as an example. And very recently, we are coming to the summer, and related to that topic, we can take is summer camp education worth it? So because during summer, everyone will be going for some kind of a summer camp education. But we can argue over that, which is worth it or not. So this kind of topics can be given. It is not, I'm not saying like exactly same will be given. And topics like general, opinion-based, controversial topics and factual about facts, okay, and case-based topics which can move towards a solution-based, so which can go towards a solution. So this is what about the types of GDs. And regarding the very important part is preparation part. Even going before the, I'll just move slowly into the GD place. Okay, you can just imagine we are at home. So first the preparation part, and then moving towards the place, the actual GD, and where, what should you do, the exact things. So that is how I have prepared. So first, preparation. How do you prepare? What is the preparation material actually? So what is the, how can we exactly choose the topic? Here we can say, nobody can say like this is what will be asked in this kind of a company, because any company can ask any topic under the sun, above the earth, anything. So what can you do? For which you can say like subject knowledge is everywhere. Whatever you see, whatever in the newspaper, you can just read the newspapers for updation. So there you can have a proper knowledge of everything. So you can current trends. What are the current trends? What are the current affairs? Like even for controversial topics, you can just read the newspaper, and then you can get to know about what is there going on in and around us. So GD is meant for how the person to test our knowledge, to some extent test our knowledge about whether we are having any sort of knowledge about this world around us. That is what they are looking forward. And even and knowledge about the topic. You should have some kind of knowledge. It is not like they are going to test only your knowledge. More than that, you will be, the interviewer will be looking for so many other things. Not only the subject knowledge will be asked, and they will be looking for only the subject knowledge, but also for other things. But mainly you have to focus on the content, for which you have to read a newspaper, magazines, and you can watch news, and then even you can just go about the advertisements, because then only you will come to know what are the things that are going around there in the advertisements, media. Okay, so then you can be selective and updated. That word is very important, updated, because you should not be like out of date. Things should not be in your mind, and you have to update day by day. And when you be selective in the sense, like you can just go for politics, and then you can take so many examples from the newspaper, and then book reference books, and so many other things. And sports, education, media, international politics, finance, etc. and etc. And don't forget, whenever you take something, you read something, you see something, keep it in your memory, that always have the habit of keeping notes and update your information. So this is the more important. And next, so I have told you like this part of why GD and types of GD, and then I have moved on to the preparation part. What are the references we can bear from, we can get the subject knowledge. Now, preparation field. It is not like an easy joke or easy task. It is not a very easy task to get through the group discussion, because so many people are there competing with each other to get a job. So in that, you have to be very careful. So on one side, you have to prepare, and you should have a subject knowledge. On the other side, you should have the preparation field. What is the preparation field actually? Talking about right mindset. So this is very important. Right mindset you have. Okay, right? What is the right mindset I'm talking about? So you should always have the mentality like you can just watch over you should be aware of your behavior, and are you ready for the group discussion, for the interview? So for that field, exact field, are you prepared? So you should have the right mindset for that. And even you have to surround yourself with great books and great people and their speeches. You should not waste your time moving around with your friends, just roaming around without doing anything, without doing any good jobs. You have to surround yourself with good books or great books. I put within quotes great books because all the books are great. But there are some books which can give really wonderful materials to you, source to you. And great people. It is not that only reading books you can have some knowledge. More than that, you have many people who are good at this kind of knowledge, which is taken from the textbooks. So you can just talk to them and then grab some knowledge from them, and then you can just note it down. And their speeches. And even you can just watch the speeches of great people who are giving who are reservoirs of knowledge. So you can also just watch all over all these things in YouTube and develop a positive mindset. This is very, very important. So the moment you think of group discussion, some kind of nervousness would be coming, and so many negative thoughts would be coming. But you should arrange your mind in such a way that you should have a positive mindset. You have to develop it. Even though you don't have that mindset, positive mindset, you have to develop that kind of a mindset for which you can read a lot of books. So you are, as I was already telling you, like you can surround yourself with great books. So when you're surrounding yourself with great books, so for sure you will develop a positive mindset. And then now slowly we have moved on to the spot. What is that spot on the spot? We are into the GD room. We are now going into the room, and you can just imagine that we are entering, we are going to enter into the room. I'm slowly holding you and bringing you to the room now. Just imagine that. These are all very important for you. And now the first thing, the first and foremost thing that you have to have in your mind is be confident. You can have, you may not have that much knowledge about what they are going to ask, but still you should be very confident that I will do this, I will crack this interview in a very good manner. So I'm confident. So that kind of braveness, that kind of confidence should be there in your mind. So that is what I have already told you, like you should have a right mindset. So that mindset will develop your confidence and your posture. So this is very, very important. The posture, how you sit, how you stand, how you shake your hands with the team manager or the manager who is there, who is going to conduct that particular GD. So your eye contact, your body movements. So these are all very, very, very important. You have to have an eye on all these things. And initiative, how you are going to initiate the group discussion and how you are going to giving intro. So how you are going to say your purpose, how you are going to agree. So all these things are important. I'm going to talk about all these things one by one. And more important than anything else, you should be having a notepad, because when somebody is, so I will be telling all these points in the forthcoming things. Okay, now the major point. So far I have set your mind that we have entered into the room, right? So we have slowly started what is what and how we have to prepare, what are the materials, what are the types. So far we have just come slowly, we are entering into the GD room. And you have to, when you join the school, there will be your seniors who would be talking about this is what the school is, how the teachers would be. So these stories will be going around with you. And when you enter into the senior secondary, the same story will be there. And when you enter into the college, and again the myth, this is how the college will be, and this is like a college life will be. And the same would be for group discussion. there is the myth that is always going around this group discussion. What is that myth? Like this or that, but I should say like this is somewhat with a wrong impression and ideas, because the first timers who is going to attend the, or who have already attended, okay, the people who have already attended the interview for the first time and had the GD for the first time, they would have misunderstood, and those who have not cracked the GD, see, underline the word, those who have not cracked the GD, or those who have not understood it properly, those who have been rejected, they would be creating this kind of myth about GD. So what are these myths? Okay, what are the stories? So they would be telling you, like in the previous slides, I was telling you, GD is totally different from debate. So they will be saying you should be very aggressive. You should not leave any other person to take your points. You should speak more. You should be talking and talking and talking. You should not allow anybody to talk. And you should always speak in favor of the topic that is given. Otherwise, the manager will be getting angry. Okay, because that is how they will be giving marks. They will give scores. And you have to cut down your opponents. You should not leave your opponent to talk. You should not allow your opponents to talk or make others agree to your point. You should make others. You should convince others to agree your point. And also, you should be an individual speaker. You should only be talking and you should not allow others to talk and project yourself in style. So these are all the myths that would be going around GD. This is all bad. It is not so. So what is exactly GD? It is not exactly GD. Okay. So then what else? For what the GD is conducted? What are they going to see from us? What are they trying to prove, or what are they trying to see from us, for which we will be given scores? So these are the interpersonal skills for which the managers or the people who are going to conduct the interviews will be evaluating. Based on these skills, the interviewer will be judging us. Okay. First one, fitness. What does this fitness mean? They will be judging us on what basis? Fitness meaning how we are having our body fitness. In the same sense, we will be having our mind, psychological fitness. Whether we are fit to be in a place working. So what are the things? There are some criteria based on which they require, the company requires some criteria. So based on those criteria, they will be judging us. So whether we have that fitness, meaning whether we are fit enough to work in that particular place, in their workplace. So that is what they are trying to focus on and see in us. And then next one, the team player. Whether we are able to, or whether we are having the ability to play in a team, work in a team. Because so many people would be talking about leadership quality. It is wrongly understood like when you say that leadership quality, it should be like I am standing alone from others, ahead of others. I should not go and mingle with other people who are in the team. It is not so. We should be very flexible. That is what the next point is, flexibility. That is what they are trying to see in us. So when we are talking with other people in the GD, they will be noting down whether we are flexible enough to coordinate with other people, whether we have the open mind to accept their points, or we let them other talk too. So that is what they are trying to say, see in us in the interview. Next one, the very important for which the program is conducted, communication skill. This is very, very important. So communication skill is very, very, very important. Even interpersonal skills can be say, when the moment I say communication skill, I thought of so many other things related to this. So when the GD people, the people who are conducting the GD, they will be having so many names to it in this kind of interpersonal skills, because it is goal oriented. They are going towards a goal. So it is goal oriented always. It is called the interactive skill. Whether we have the ability to interact with the people. I have already told you, like we are going to work in a place where we can meet different people, different ideas, and different situations. So whether we are ready to, or whether we have the ability to interact with other people. So there will be a judgment related with the interactive skills. And this is also, these interpersonal skills are also called as people skill. So where we are gelling with, whether we gel with the people who are there in the company, in the workspace. So this is called a people skill or face-to-face skill. When I meet other person, whether we have the ability, I have the ability to face that people in a polite manner or in a pleasant manner, right? To be work done. These are all for what? To be work done. And social skills or social competence. These interpersonal skills are also called social competence or social skills. So these skills help us in different levels. How? Because in the workplace, we are going to, this will be working out between the employers or among the employers, one-to-one, or between the boss and the employer, how they will be gel with each other, and between the peer groups. Even at, not only, this is not only applicable to only the IT industry or something like MNC companies, not like that. Even in our schools and colleges, you can now see there are so many videos that are going around, circulated through the WhatsApp, and we could see like what are the status of students, situation, the educational scenario of the world, especially in India. So we could see like how this COVID-19 has affected these people. And so at that level, at school level, at the college level, or at the university level, even there we can see with these interpersonal skills, we can coordinate with the student, the kind of a student-teacher relationship. That is very important. As a teacher, I should say like these interpersonal skills are very, very important to have a very good teacher-student relationship. Even in our personal life, it is not like only for working, we should have this kind of interpersonal skills. It is even to maintain a very good relationship in our personal life, even with our ups and downs, or the sisters, brothers, or with mother, father, or with any relationship, between or among relationship, these interpersonal, that is why it is called as a people skill. So this should be, we should learn this kind of things. So based on these things, so fitness, whether we are having the ability to play in a team, whether we have the ability to be flexible enough, do we have the communication skill, or do we have the knowledge on various subjects? So it is not that you should have, you can think like how can one be, how is it possible for one person to have knowledge about all the things above the, above the earth and below the sun? You can ask, but it is not so. They are not going to see your in-depth knowledge in that particular subject. They will be looking forward whether this person is aware of that particular subject, whether they are aware of the current trends, current affairs that is going around, that is around them, for which they will be conducting the GD. And the spontaneity of subject knowledge, even if they are not aware, they would be having some kind of knowledge that they are able to give it spontaneously. So that is for what the GD is conducted. And more than that, diction and pronunciation, how your pronunciation is, because you would be, as I was telling you, like you would be facing different kinds of people, different language people, different culture people. So you should, your pronunciation should be understood by the people who are not even aware of that, the lay people, so to say lay people, the customers, consumers. And then very important thing is body language and posture, and of which I am going to talk about in the next few slides. And evaluation is done based on these criteria also. As it is already said, subject knowledge. And more than anything else, this is a era of information. So information is knowledge and knowledge is power, right? So creativity, wherever we go, we are looking forward for creativity, that is otherwise called the lateral thinking. Edward de Bono is known for this kind of lateral thinking, and six thinking hats is very popular for that. You can just refer to that text. And more than anything else, how you have the creativity when you have the original ideas. When you have the original ideas, automatically creativity pops up. Okay, so that is how. And your voice, it is not like it should not be like a sonorous or like it should not make us to sleep, or should not it should not wake us always, right? You should maintain the tone. It should not be monotonous, so you have to vary your tone. And the body language and the flow of thought, how you are giving your ideas. Is there any flow of the thought? Are you giving the thoughts in a flow? And moreover, anything else, initiative. And the important thing is the leadership quality. Are you possessing the leadership quality? Because at any point, you may given that kind of position, leadership, for which you need confidence, first of all. So based on these things of confidence and listening, logical and analytical ability, so based on these criteria, you will be evaluated. And now, so the exact GD is going to start now. And for which the interpersonal skills are functioning at two different levels for two different advantages. One is completing the task. So for why is this GD is conducted? Completing the task and to strengthen the group. I was talking about a leadership quality for which you need to strengthen the group or maintain the group. So this is what all about it. And we are now in the next part, start, get, set, go, meaning we have come to the place. So we have come to the place. Here, the very important thing, this is where you have to be very careful. There is an old adage, there is a proverb like a well begun is half done. You would be aware of this adage. So what you have to do is, if you start, you have to grab the attention first of all. How you would grab the attention? So, so to somehow or the other, there will be some 10 people who would be sitting there, and you have to grab the attention with some simple introduction, or just you can raise your voice. Just to say, for example, may I start the GD? So you can take the opportunity, or otherwise it is also good. If you say, for example, if you are scoring 5 points for taking the opportunity, you would be given 6 to 7 points for giving opportunity. So that is more important. Yeah. However, like taking opportunity is important, and on the same time, giving opportunity is also very important. So how it is important? You have to start. You have to grab the attention by starting the discussion. So if you start on a good note, if you can move the group to a right direction. So these are the very important things that will be noticed by the people who are conducting the GD. Okay, so if you have the ability to move the group to a right direction, it will place you in a comfortable pedestal. Like they will be having a very good impression upon you. Okay, fine. They are having this kind of initiative capacity. They are having the leadership quality to lead the group. This is to lead the group. So actually, you have already scored. You can have the confidence that you have already scored there. The mark you have scored. So actually, starting the discussion is a mark that you possess a leadership quality. You have the clarity of thought. So when you have the clarity of thought, you just start the discussion, or you have the subject knowledge about the topic that is given. So it is on the whole, it is a power play, like it is a powerful role to play this kind of initiator. So when the moment you initiate or start the discussion, so you have a powerful role that is there in your hand now. So it shows your initiative capacity, and in real time, even in your real time after you get the job, you can see like it would work too. Because to push you forward to a higher position, you have to always initiate that kind of a thing. And it shows always your confidence level, how confident you are to initiate a thing. Because it is not an easy task to start a GD. It is easy to talk about something when others are also talking. But it is very difficult to start unless otherwise you have the subject knowledge, you have the confidence, you have the ability to lead the group or to initiate the group. It is not an easy task to start the discussion. So it also says about you that you have the ability to set the goal for the discussion. So you have set the mood. Okay. So this is what you have to, this is where you have to concentrate more importantly. You have to grab the attention by initiating the thing. And the more importantly, you can say like how you can, I have told you like you have to grab the attention. So how you will be, you have made up your mind to start the discussion. But what are the ways to start? There are some 6 ways of starters. You can start the GD with a quote. It is always appreciable. So wherever you just begin a program or begin a festival, whatever it is, a big function, okay, so you can always begin with a quote. It will give a very good impression upon the people who are conducting the GD. And also you can go for a definition. It is not always you can go for a quote, but when it is a technical topic, a little bit of a technical topic, you can always go for a definition. You can just give a clarity of the topic by giving a definition. Or else, when I say like opinion based, you can just give a story. You can just start the discussion with a story. But it should be, you should have that in mind. It should be crispy. You cannot just make everyone sleep by singing a lullaby and telling a story to a very long time. So it should be very crisp. And when you go for a factual ideas, there can be some kind of a statistics, figures and data, and you can just start with a question. But see to that, it should not be floating on the air, floating on air. Because you should ask a question, and just like a teacher, you should not look for the proper answer. When the moment you ask a question, you just go with a response too. Okay. And then you can always, this is where you can just grab the attention by giving a shocking statement. You can just give a statistical data, and also this statistical data can be hand in hand with a shocking statement. So this is how you can start it. And so finally, what are the things that we should be careful about? Prove to talk. When you are there, you have started, so the GD has started. So slowly I have moved to the room, and then you have started, the GD has started. Now see to it, these points are to be there. Prove to talk. You have to talk in the GD. You should not just blinking your eyes and looking around everywhere. You should be a listener, I understand, but at the same time, prove to talk. So you are saying something about the topic. And speak as early as possible, because there is a danger of something like when you talk a little bit late, all the points would be exhausted. So, and you would be blinking for some other points. There would be no points to talk about that. So it is very good that to speak as early as possible, and even if the topic is familiar. Without any familiarity, you cannot just start speaking, because you have to cut a sorry figure there. And then predict the space. Predict the space in the sense like whenever you just have some kind of space, when there are nobody to speak, you can just grab that space and you can prove your points. And always mind it, you should talk about 1 minute and 2 to 3 times. So this is the correct approach. So you can talk about 1 minute, but 2 or 3 times. It is not that always you are talking and no others always listening to you. No, it should not be like that, because you should also be a listener. Because this is where these people are stressing the point, whether this person is a very good listener or not. Why? Because you are going to be there with the customers or the consumers. So consumers and customers, they won't listen to you. You have to listen to the consumers. So you have to be a listener too. At the same time, talking. And strength of vocabulary. First few seconds, you just show your strength of vocabulary and not bombarded words like beautifying words. You should always be talking about that. And last, closing. How the beginning is important, just like that. As important as that is the beginning, closing is also important, because it will last an impression with the people who are conducting it. So see to it whether you are initiator or listening or intervening in the sense now and then. For I have told you like 2 to 3 times you can just intervene whenever you grab the chance to speak. You can just intervene, jump into the discussion. It is not that you can wait for a long time and then listen to them. Whenever you just think that this point is not good, so you can just intervene, and then there should not be any repetition of that sort. You should not repeat one point throughout the GD. See to it, and you have to also see to it. You are having a backup. Okay, backup your points with the facts and figures. If you have that, you can just go about with the facts and figures. And more importantly, you should be very gentle. So that is the main point I just stressed in the first point. That is where this discussion is totally different from debate. So you should not be like angry with them and then just throw anything at them through words. Okay, mind it, through words. It is not so. You should be gentle enough to even to disagree their point. If you want to oppose their point, the opponent, or there are nobody called opponent there because it is not a debate. So there you have to be very gentle even when you are opposing somebody's points, and maintain your composure. See to it whether it can be a controversial, more importantly in the controversial topics, you have to maintain your composure. So you have to be natural. You should not oppose like you are very angry at the point and then you are very concerned with that particular topic and concerned with the particular sect of people, and you are angry and you are going to be a revolutionary. You should not maintain all those things. You should be very natural and you should be calm and maintain your composure. And see to it whether you are participating in that. Participation, it doesn't mean only the talking part, and it also points out to the listening part. And magical words. This is applicable not only in the GD but also to your personal life. It is my personal request. So magical words. What are those magical words? Wherever you go, that there are some 3 words like excuse me, thank you, please. Please do suffix or prefix with all those things. So this will help you to crack so many magical things for you. Okay, and think before you speak. So you have to think and you have to see to it whether you have the space to interfere. And till that point, you have to think whether you can speak this point or not. Abruptly, you cannot jump into the discussion and say whatever points come to your mind. You have to be very careful whether it is okay to say this point or not. So say what you feel without going in favor or against it. It should be like judgmental, like it should not be very biased. It should be the fact. So what is what? Okay. So this is what you have to see to it. And so for which I have already told you magical words. So how you can just intervene, or how you suppose or oppose or support their ideas. So you can ask you can ask excuse me, or you can say like I endorse your statement. These are the things that are there in the GD. So you have to have these words. I endorse your statement. when you are accepting their statement and you want to add something kind of that sort, and you can sorry, like you can say when you're not agreeing with the other's point, you can say, I'm sorry, I do not agree. So you're not supposed to say like, I disagree with you totally. What you said is completely wrong. I don't agree to you. So you have to be very polite and you have to ask, I'm sorry, I do not agree with you. And when you add to some more points, you can say like in addition to that. Use kind of words like respected, or when you address the higher authorities. Okay, so when you accept and add some of your points, you can say like, I second your opinion. I don't, when you're not getting their points, I don't, for clarification. So I don't quite get the point. Can you please clarify? So these kind of magical words can be added value to your GDs. And the most important things come here. Everything is important. You have to say like, from the beginning, you are saying like very important, very important. Yes, of course. All the points are important because you're going to prove your metal just for within 10 minutes. So everything is important. So you have to be careful about all those things. So GD etiquette, there are some GD etiquettes, meaning your body language and the confidence. So what kind of a body language you have to maintain there. So still lack of time, I'll just rush. Body language is as important as the verbal communication. You have to see like you can have knowledge, you can be an encyclopedia in a particular topic, but it is not, it doesn't mean that it will fetch you a job for sure, because it should always go with this kind of a body language, because it is the essence of non-verbal communication. So through our body only we just emit the things like whether we are agreeing or not, whether I support this, whether I'm irritated, whether I'm happy about it, whether I'm energetic, whether I'm enthusiastic about this GD, or I'm bored. So all these sort of things will be emitted from our body. So that is very important. Remember, you have to keep in mind that when we refer to communication, only 7% verbal and 93% of non-verbal is taken for granted. So very important is body language. Only 7% of what your knowledge is accounted for, and 93% how you are going to be there in the GD. So how you are going to conduct yourself in the GD, that is more important because it counts for 93%. It doesn't mark any mark value, but I'm just telling you. And actually that is what reflects in your overall personality, because of your body language is what you are. Because it is our body, so it is what we are. It is our character that will show. And positive postures and gestures are a sign of confidence. So how confident you are. Even when I'm talking to you, how confident I am, how I am sitting. So these are all taken for granted. So how you are showing your waving your hands. So how you are having your eye contact. Are you just looking down? When you're looking down, it shows that you're not interested in the GD. And when you're just blinking, you're confused. So these are all the things that will be taken for account by the people who are conducting the GD. So posture, that is very, very, very important. More importantly, there are more number of, I heard from Binu sir that many number of management students are there. And for them especially, the management professionals, and they are supposed to be calm and composed even when they are under high level of pressure or stress. They will be having some kind of a stress, or even they will be tensed because of some problem. And even when that kind of moment, you should be calm and composed. So you have to maintain that. And the position and the sitting place, just as a sitting posture, place that is where you are seated is also important. In where you are going to sit, that is important, because you can grab, when you are asked to sit in a particular place, you can just go and have your seat. But when you cannot say and being stubborn or adamant, no, I will not sit here. I will only sit there because that is the comfortable place for me, convenient place for me. Here, I don't feel comfortable. You cannot say that. You just go there and occupy the space where it is shown. But at the same time, when you are given a chance to make, you have to be prudent enough to choose yours. So which is the correct seat to occupy? The corner seats, the head seats, we can say, the ones that are at the extremes, not the surrounding part. When there is a table like this, there will be two seats that will be placed facing each other. So two corners are having the advantage of feeling powerful. So maybe the head of the family, they will sit at the dinner table. Okay, so the head, as the head. So somewhat it defines the starting or ending of the group. So that is why this sitting posture is also important. Sitting position where you are sitting, that is also very important. And posture, you have to maintain an upright posture. You should not sluggishly, you just sluggishly laying your body on the chair. It is not so. You have to sit upright. It defends your energy, your power, how energetic, how enthusiastic you are about the GD, along with the people. But you should not make yourself too rigid. It does not show your adamance or stubbornness. Next is the position of hands. So many students have asked me, like whenever we have the kind of group discussion preparation, the students would be asking me like where we can have the hands. It doesn't mean that now I'm having the hands on the arms. It doesn't mean that. Okay, which is the right position to place our arms, our hands? It is on the thigh, but not always. See to it, not always you should be having your hands on the thighs. It also shows you're not interested. You have to gesticulate properly. You have to show your hands, you have to make gestures, but not too much gestures. That is also like a backfire, right? So too much gesticulation may also have a reflection or projection that you are an impulsive person or lack of gesticulator. If you are not doing that, it will also say something about you, like you are not comfortable while you are expressing your self. So that is also, you should be careful enough. So in such ways, you have to prove your involvement and interest, your energy, your power through your posture and gestures. So this is why I told you like 7% of the verbal communication is important, and 93% is important for body language, because through body language you will be saying like I am interested and I am involved and I'm having the leadership quality, I have the ability to initiate, I have everything that you need to have. Your requirements are fulfilled. So that is where you have to be careful of this body language. And what are the do's and don'ts that we have to be? So please do not be afraid of the things like a mental toughness. The moment you enter into the room, sweating, you will start sweating. So need not afraid of anything, because you should not have the fear of failure. Just give a try. That is enough. And the fear of public speaking, if you have that, be shameless. Who is going to say anything of talking? Okay, so be shameless and just whatever you think, practice at home. It is not that whatever comes to your mouth, you can just spill it out. Just practice, but you need not afraid of the public speaking. So you have to grab hold of that opportunity and you can just give a try. And what you should not do not be so loud. Here I am talking because it should be audible. But when you are sitting face to face, see to that your voice is not aggressive and overboard with enthusiasm. Somebody will be like a mismatch of facial expression and their words. So you should not be overboarding with enthusiasm. If you are familiar with that, this is what happened in the exam hall. So that should not be happening in the GDE room. And don't belittle the other speakers. And speak first. If you are unfamiliar with the topic, please do not do that. Please just listen to others, and then you can have collect some idea about the topic, and then you can start speaking. It is not that you have to speak first. It is not a compulsion. And change your opinion. Do not change your opinion. In between, first you would have told something else, and immediately you would be saying something controversial to your own point. So contradicting your own point. So don't do that, and do not ask irrelevant questions. When the GD is going on in one direction, you should not make it in the other way around. And do not use the fillers often, like okay, so that sort of fillers you're not supposed to use, because it will show that you do not have subject knowledge, or you're not having like subject knowledge, or you do not have confident in that particular topic, you're not interested, you don't know anything about that particular topic. So it will reveal all these things when you are using fillers more often. And do not get nervous. If the previous speakers have presented their points in a better way, don't panic yourself. Please be calm. Please be composed enough. And then grab your energy, and then you just talk in your own way, because originality scores you a lot. That is what you have to do. You should not like seeing others. I will also talk something in a better way. You should not do that, and exhibit your emotion, how you feel like about the GD. So this is not like I'm summarizing, but how you have started. There is always like a score which you can score place, summarizing point, concluding the point. So summarizing what you can do and what you should not do. So highlighting the important points. It can be for and against. Say something you have talked about and you have for. Say for example, this COVID vacation, I just call it a COVID vacation, meaning 2 years, this is a long gap. In this vacation, something is the online class. This is a boon or bane, just a topic like that. So when some participants will be speaking about a for, okay, and somebody will be speaking against. But you should not, you would be for or against. But when you summarize, see to that all the points are added, all the major points, not again you are going to back to from the beginning point, see to it, you are highlighting the important points, major points and the important points to be added. And grab or take the opportunity to summarize, just like the starter, and describe the GD with adjectives, how it was. How was the GD? It was like, you should not just say like it was very boring, I was bored or irritated, something like that. How, with the good adjectives, you can just describe the GD. And also you can just thank the co-participants. And what you should not do. Do not add any points in the summary. In the final part, you should not add any new points. Probably you would be like, all of a sudden you should be having your memory waken up, and then you should not add at that point of moment. And do not add your own opinion. At that particular time, summarizing time, you should not add your opinion. This is what I feel about this particular topic. And keep it short. It should be very crisp. And no personal opinion, no extra stories. It should be maximum 1 minute. And now my summary, meaning the whole thing, what I have told you, that is what. So I hope you should be the winners. And what are the things that we should be having in our mind? The subject knowledge, see to it whether we are listening, whether we are presentation, how is our presentation, and how we are going to be the initiator. Our body language should be composed, and the communication skill is most important. And finally, the cooperation. That is what the most required faculty that is seen by the people, the GD people. Okay, so finally, thank you for the opportunity given, and hope all the best for the participants. Thank you.